makes me wanna holler, go away. I need more peace and hope and love. Where do I find it in this crazy old world? I need strategies, strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab. Strategies for living radio. Every time I listen, Lauren and David share strategies for living, and it makes me aware. I got strategies for living, strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab. Strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab.
Oh, we need them, yeah. Some days, weeks, years, we need them more than ever. Welcome into Strategies for Living. You ready for your daily dose of radio rehab over there?
Oh, I'm vibing.
Oh, yeah. I thought you would be. Folks, welcome into another edition of Strategies for Living. I'm Dr. David McMillian. She is psychotherapist, LPC, Lauren Leon McMillian. And you know, Lauren, if we want to embrace a subject that is important, and every single person listening to us right now is going to need to hear what would we talk about?
What about stress?
See, I thought we would talk about Stacie Slabaugh.
Oh, well, she can always help. I think she can help with the stress for sure.
No question about it. But here's the deal. Everybody deals with stress.
As long as you're living.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it could be good or bad stress. There's eustress and distress.
That's
right?
very true. And we talk a lot about the distress, obviously. But Stacie, stress is just not something that we feel.
Well, it's not just an emotion.
Right. Right. It's so much more.
We typically dismiss it. We're so used to stress in today's world that we think it's just in our head.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling stress, and I got to get through this, and I know I'm stressed, and we think it stops there.
Yeah.
Our head's attached to the rest of our
but
body,
our head
though, right?
is attached.
Some
of us.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Some of us.
Societally, maybe we do run around with them chopped off.
I think there are times that it seems to be not attached.
Yeah.
Well,
we like to think so.
Like my mom always said, if your head wasn't glued on tight, you'd lose it.
How many times did you hear that one, Stacie? All right. Well, and that probably created some stress in and of itself.
Yes.
So we're going to talk all about stress today, and it's something that we can all benefit from. And obviously, Stacie Slabaugh from Restore Healing is with us today, and we appreciate you. We appreciate all of our sponsors, including Restore Healing with Stacie Slabaugh, and the Robinson Film Center, and Azalea Cleaners, and Pintail Roofing, and Fertitta's Delicatessen, and SRT Sales Training, Uprising Addiction Center, and Mira Direct Primary Care. Stress and overwhelmed. Can you relate? We'll be back today to talk about it with Stacie Slabaugh, our life strategist here on Strategies for Living.
When life gets loud and you can't find peace, there's a calm that's calling you release. Lauren, David, and Stacie too, bringing balance and healing to you. Sound is the bridge where science meets soul. Tune into healing, let it make you whole. Tune out the chaos, tune into you. Let the balance life will help you renew with Stacie and Strategies for Living. Find your rhythm, you like your beginning. Because everything is energy, and vibration connects us all.
And welcome into Strategies for Living. Lauren Leon McMillian, David McMillian, our life strategist today. Dr. Stacie Slabaugh from Restore Healing.
Hi.
Hi again. We've got to rewrite the song now.
Yeah, we do.
But,
it's such a pretty little song.
It is. It is. So maybe our
tweak it a
talent,
little bit.
maybe our talent over there can do something.
Maybe I'll be able to restore it.
Oh, very good.
I love it.
What is it? Ba-doom. Ba-doom, boom.
Boom, boom. All right, so we couldn't be talking about a more important subject, in my opinion, today, because we're talking about stress, we're talking about overwhelm. It affects, how many of us say I'm overwhelmed? It's been a rough week, a rough month, a rough year. I've just got too much on my plate.
Yes.
How many of us have not said that? Yeah.
I want to meet you. I want to meet you. If you haven't said that lately.
But Stacie, the body, and we were mentioning a book earlier in the week on the program. The body keeps the score.
Yes,
and
David Vanderkolk.
Yeah, wonderful book. But it's true. I mean, everything shows up eventually in our body. Our body's communication, isn't it?
It's absolutely communication. There's nothing that just simply stays a thought or an emotion in our mind. It is so much more than that. As we said in the opening, for most of us, our head is firmly attached to our body. And so it's much more than just having that thought. And I'm going to be completely open and transparent. One reason that I think we're talking about this today is because I feel stress. I am feeling this week in particular. I've had a lot come at me, and I am feeling the stress of life, the stress of owning a business. I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed.
Yep.
Had tons of questions come at me at one time, but I do stay in constant awareness. And so the reason I wanted to bring it to attention today is that I want to, as we discuss, I want you to pick up some of these things and go by some of these things and realize that stress, I don't let it get out of control, because I know so well exactly what it starts doing to the body and how it starts showing up, and the pain, whether it's a headache or anything else that I start feeling. And so I grab a hold of those reins at the very start of realizing
That's what I was going
how stressed I am.
ask you. Something that I've noticed just personally as I've gone along my journey is I am able to notice sooner, like just at the twinge of a headache, rather than letting it go into a full-blown episode.
As something starts happening, whether it's allergies, whether it's a headache, whether it's your knees inflamed and hurting, whether it's, there's a whole host of things that we'll talk about in just a minute that can start happening. But when you start feeling that, learn to stop faster and faster and say, okay, wait a minute. What is this?
Yeah. What is
going
this?
on? Am I safe? Because that's really the communication.
That's what the nervous system asks. The nervous system, your nervous system is constantly scanning for, am I safe?
Yeah.
When you are reading that email, when you're talking to your boss, when you're worrying about paying that bill, when you have an aging parent like I have. In every situation you encounter, the very first thing, you don't realize it in your mind hasn't even done it yet. Your mind may not have asked the question, but your nervous system says, am I safe here?
Yeah.
And if the answer is no, but even if the answer is, I'm not sure, then your body is going into a state of fight or flight, and that's stressful to you.
Because it's a dichotomy. So you either are in parasympathetic or
sympathetic nervous system.
Yeah,
In that way, it is an either or.
Right.
I don't like the either or dichotomy, and I try to stay away from that. But in that way, it truly is.
Yeah.
We are in either or.
And boy, if you look anywhere to the outside, it's going to be hard to answer a yes to the safety question.
To the safety question. Right.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's really, really calling us to go inside.
Yes.
To find
It's inviting.
Yes, it's inviting.
And
it's an opportunity.
It is.
It's such an important question for us to be aware of and ask ourselves.
One of the, I watched kind of a podcast thing the other day on YouTube, and one of the things that I took away from it, the person presenting it didn't actually say this, but to that point, at the very end, the thought that it left me in with was the only way out is in.
Absolutely.
That's the only way out of the stress we're feeling. That's the only way out of the the worries that and when I say in, I'm not discounting the power of God, but where does God dwell?
The kingdom of heaven.
The kingdom of heaven is within.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, so when we're feeling the stress of it all, we have to be able to, whether it's at night before we go to bed, or we need to go in the bathroom for 5 minutes at work, or we need to whatever, we've got to take that time out. We've got to stop and breathe, and we have to go inside for a little bit and ask the question.
Yeah.
The body is a system.
It is.
It is a system, and I love the story that you can relate about systems. You know a little bit about.
I know a little bit about systems. So at my core, I would call myself a systems analyst. I spent 20 years before opening my practice. I spent 20 years in supply chain management. And my job was making sure that the system flowed, that the system functioned.
Right.
And so in my job at that time, it was in manufacturing, corporate manufacturing. And so every department had to communicate effectively. If purchasing didn't communicate with manufacturing, or manufacturing didn't communicate with shipping, and then shipping couldn't communicate with the customer, eventually if there was a breakdown somewhere in that communication inside the system,
slowed everything, didn't it?
then the entire system slowed down or shut down.
Yeah.
And so then when you were at the grocery store trying to get your popcorn off the shelf, and you're asking, why isn't my popcorn on this shelf? Well, because there was a breakdown in communication in the system somewhere.
Yes.
And so our body is absolutely the same way. And it's one thing that, people ask, how did I jump from that into doing what I do so well? Because it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And I have that way of looking at things. My brain automatically works that way. Where is the breakdown? Where's the breakdown in communication? Where's the breakdown in the supply chain? And the body is the greatest supply chain.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And here's the thing with stress, it's bringing messages. It's bringing communication to say something in the supply chain
Yes.
is
Well,
Error.
that somewhere,
Error.
yes, that there's an error somewhere. Well, and those messages are telling you that somewhere throughout the supply chain there isn't communication.
Yeah.
There's a blockage. The
Right.
communication has to stop. Just one part of your body is now not communicating with another part of your body effectively.
and we are the body electric, and
Yes.
we are the body
Well,
frequency.
that's where I
aren't we?
was going to go, because I do think the interbody is part of it, but I'm also wondering if oftentimes the message is interbody in terms of our energetic body to our physical body communication
Yes,
as
it
well.
absolutely,
And
very
then
much.
even going farther up
And
to
then
super
even-
conscious
yeah, that
or
there's
God or divine or whatever you want to call it.
And so a breakdown in our electrical system within, or a breakdown in the, if you can imagine, and it's kind of hard to explain on radio, but we
We'll put the
have,
diagram up.
emotional and etheric bodies
Right.
that extend out from us, that are energetic,
Right.
that go, 5 or 6 or more feet out.
Right.
And so those are emotional, etheric, and I kind of forget the names of some of them right now. It escapes me.
Astral as well.
Astral. But yes, there
Yeah.
can be, those are kind of templates.
Right.
And there can be a lack of communication between one of those templates and our physical body that does the same. But then, another way of looking at it, so my husband's an electrician. And so
He knows a lot about electrical
he
flow.
knows a
Electric
lot
systems.
about the electric systems and electrical flow. And he absolutely amazes me with, when we first got married and I would listen to him and I'm like, wow, like you're talking Chinese. I don't get it. But after listening to him for a number of years and then going through my education, what I quickly learned is that our body works the exact same way
Yes.
as
Yeah.
the wiring in the walls of your house.
Yeah.
And so you call, and in fact, my mentor that I learned biofield tuning from, one of my modalities, she also understands that, and in the last numerous years has come to referring to herself as a bioelectrician.
Oh,
And she says we all should do that. We communicate with each other through our boards, and we keep up with each other. And she says we all need to start talking about ourselves as bioelectricians because it works. The body works the exact same way that the walls, the electricity in your house does. And when electricity flows properly, everything works. The lights come on, the refrigerator
Right.
stays cold, your air conditioner runs. But if those wires are overloaded, or circuits begin shorting out, then it stops working the way it's supposed to.
that's one of the wonderful
And it
things.
causes fires, right?
And it causes
and it causes
fires.
Oh,
Which is inflammation.
Yeah.
one of the wonderful things that Restore Healing, Balanced Life Wellness Center, Restore Healing.
Restore healing.
One of the wonderful things that you've done is you have an answer for a lot of what we're talking about today.
I do.
Yeah.
I have absolute answers. But and the first one is stress, to become aware of your stress. And that's really, no matter who walks through my door, I'm going to talk to you, or our goal and aim, the very first goal before we start targeting specific problems, one of the first, sessions or two, I'm going to talk to you about calming the nervous system, getting your system back into that parasympathetic state. And because your nervous system is likely overloaded, it's likely stressed. So we'll talk about other ways that we may be able to manage the stress, things we can do through diet, through coaching, through whatever else needs to be done. But the very first session I really want to do is just calm that system down.
Yeah.
Just get it calm, see what it feels like, work on getting it unoverloaded, out of that overloaded state, out of that fight or flight response.
I know some people, walk away from the initial session and many other, any sessions afterwards, but with a look of surprise on their face. Wow.
Yes. I mean, really, I have people, some involved in a business group, and people will come in for that first session, and they often don't know how to explain anything other than, oh my God, I just felt amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
I
relaxed.
just relaxed.
Probably for the first
My
time.
body
in a while.
relaxed, and I felt amazing. I don't know what else Stacie did to me or did for me, but man, did it feel good. I know what I feel.
Well, folks, if you want to feel good, remember Restore Healing. It's right next door to Strong's, right across from Centenary College. We'll talk more about that as we continue to talk about stress and overwhelm today. Here on Strategies for a Living with Dr. Stacie Slabaugh. Got more to come. Stay with us.
Tune in daily, find the light. Healthy mind and spirits bright. Strategies for living strong. Feel the vibe, it won't go wrong. Body moves and soul align. Catch the rhythm, feel the time. Radio we have every day. Chase those clouds of gray away. Your daily dose of radio rehab. Lift you up when skies seem trapped. Mind and body, spirits free. Living life in harmony.
And welcome back. Welcome back into Strategies for Living. Lauren McMillian, David McMillian, Dr. Stacie Slabaugh from Restore Healing with us today. And 115 Kings Highway. If you've been around a while, you know it as, for years it was Shreveport Music. For years before that, it was Centenary Hardware. I'm dating myself now.
Yes.
And but it's right next door to Strong's, and wow, what a special healing place it is. If you want to find out more about it as you listen to us talking about it, restorehealing.co
Yes.
is the way to find out more. You can get a virtual tour.
And it is actually working now. I had fights with it, and when we did our show to reveal the brand change a couple weeks ago, I was very dismayed that I went back and found out that the website we were directing people to was not working, but it is working.
all
just needed to be
things
restored.
work
It
out.
needed
Yeah.
to be restored. It
There you
did.
go.
I'm going to
It
keep
did.
plugging that one.
Thank you, Laura.
All right, so we're talking about stress and overwhelm today, and a lot of us think it's in my head. Stress is in my head,
Yeah.
but it's not.
But it's not. It's
Yeah.
not just your emotions. It's not, just some. And it's not. I had a client yesterday that she started realizing that she's a little bit older. She had dealt with her aging mother years ago, and now is dealing. Her husband's a few years older than her, and he is aging and having some problems. And so we were talking all about that. And stress is something that you need to constantly keep a check on as you know that you're going through it, as you know that it's happening. Because when it gets out of hand, so she realized with her mother that she stayed stressed for several years, 3 to 5 years. Her mother developed Alzheimer's and she was her primary caretaker, and it was extremely stressful. And what she then understood was when you come out of that, and eventually her mother passed and her life, quote, went back to normal.
Right.
You're in your mind, right? You can get back to normal. Now, all you have to deal with is your job if you're still working, or all you have to deal with is this. Your daily workload is back to normal.
Right.
You're like, okay, I can breathe. Maybe you try to get your sleep back to normal. But when your body has been, I call it being jacked up, when your body has been that jacked up, when you have lived in the sympathetic nervous system for that long unchecked, then when your mind goes back to, quote, normal, your body doesn't bounce back.
You still have to deal with the things that might have manifested.
That might have manifested.
And try
or that
to
went
get your
wrong.
attention.
But even the nervous system itself doesn't just go, okay, we're good. We're safe now.
Yeah.
Now we're
Right.
safe. Now we're okay. It has the memory of everything you've been through, and your nervous system still feels a bit unsafe.
Yeah. Well,
And-
it's literally sensitized.
Yes, it has become sensitized to that level of stress.
Yeah.
And so
And it's really a form of trauma that
it
has
is.
to be
It
dealt
is
with,
trauma.
isn't it?
It is trauma that has to be dealt with. Yes. And so
And you
we-
deal with trauma.
No, yes.
Yeah.
And we don't bounce back as quickly as we like to think that we do. And so, that's when you start realizing that. And so the one reason my client had brought it up is because she had to go to a disappointing doctor's appointment with her husband, where the doctor said, yes, he is, I think he's headed in this direction. And so because she had dealt with her mom, now she knows what's coming up with her husband, and her body's the bear has presented itself.
Right.
Yeah.
The bear has already shown up.
Sure.
And so she was talking to me about, okay, I know what's coming. How do I handle it better this time?
Right.
Yeah.
What do I do this time? How
And
do
you
I not
can-
let it get out of control?
You can keep it handled better, can't you? That's
Handled
the great
better.
news.
It's still going to be difficult,
Sure.
right? I don't have the absolute magic wand to where you're going to be going through this challenging time in your life and you're just not going to feel the stress from
Right.
it.
Right.
You're going to feel the stress from it. But the key is, another thing I said this morning in a business meeting I was in, we got on the subject of having a loved one with an addiction.
Right.
And, I said, as hard as that is, there's no way, if you have a loved one with an addiction, especially if it's your child, if you're a little bit older and you have an adult child who has become addicted,
Right.
there's no way that's not going to stress you out.
Absolutely.
You're going to deal with the heartbreak and the stress and the worry and the anxiety from that. That's a given.
Yeah.
But if you will do the necessary things and take care of yourself, you can't pour from an empty cup, right?
Right.
I mean, you cannot pour from an empty cup. So if you want to continue to pray for your loved one, to be there for your loved one, to do the things for your loved one, you have to take care of yourself at the same time.
That's
and you have
something
to stay on top of it.
That's something that is so important, Stacie, that's hard for us to grasp because, through the years, and I know you have too, I've heard people, when I give any kind of variation of that message, say, well, I don't want to be selfish.
Right, we do. We're kind of, our society has convinced us that we're being selfish to take care of ourselves.
But it's not.
It's not
selfishness.
selfish at
It's
all.
really
It's the most selfless thing
It is
we
the
can
most
do.
loving thing you can do because you cannot help them. We have kind of a friend of the family that is taking care of her aging father, and it has stressed her out. And so we keep saying, what's going to happen when you become so stressed or so sick, right? Because now she's having her knees kill her all the time. She's having these pain indicators that we can go over. But if she ends up in the hospital for a week or two, or worse yet, something completely knocks her out, how is she being of assistance to her dad?
And back to that system a moment ago, once it's gonna there's gonna be more stress created.
There's going to be more stress created from it, right?
Yeah.
So when you get those first symptoms of chronic stress, right, you might know that it's in your head. You might know that you're getting stressed out. But when you start getting the headaches more often, almost every client I see, it's more prone in us ladies when we start turtling, right? When that
Carrying the world on our
carrying
shoulders,
the world on
so
our
to speak,
shoulders, and our shoulders go up, and we get the literal physical pains in the neck.
Yeah.
Right.
Right, the pain in the neck has stopped being our children or aging parents or coworkers or whatever. And now the pain in the neck is very real. The pain in the neck is physical.
Yep.
And, those muscles stay constantly tight. Men tend to carry it more in their lower back. And sometimes that's vice versa. Both can have both. But when your
and
back
sometimes
starts
it can
hurting,
show up in terms of heart and in terms of the middle and the key.
You start feeling that tightness on your chest, or
Yeah.
you can't, suddenly you're like, wow, I'm not. But that happened to me years ago. Actually, I dealt with it. But 10 or 15 years ago, I just suddenly was having trouble breathing. And especially after I ate, but all of a sudden I would have to straighten up, and I would have to take these deep breaths, and I would say, wow, I feel like I can't get a full breath. What's going on? It was stress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This can also show up in our libido. I mean, it's
absolutely.
important. It's important that we embrace we are sexual beings, and if we are healthy, if we're somewhat healthy, we should have a good sex life on into our 80s, 90s, and beyond.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, if something is showing up there, you may want to really pay attention and ask that question. Where's the stress in my life?
Where's the stress? Yes.
Yeah.
And what I hear both of you saying is the importance of continuing to be a student of ourselves, of our bodies, and a steward of our bodies.
Yes,
A student and a steward.
Yeah.
I like that.
That is beautiful. I mean, that's perfect. And we do have to continue to be a student. And as much as I know about my body and have tuned into my body, I'm still a student.
Because it's always changing as well.
Last week,
right?
I had this weird pain in my thigh that I typically don't have. I've never had it before, but I knew immediately to stop. I even walked in the room and my thighs were just hurting. And I'm like, what in the world is going on? And my husband was sitting in the living room, and I said, my thighs are hurting. Like, this is weird. Can you please tell me if you know that I have done anything, or, and I stopped right then and asked the question.
Right.
And he said, no, I don't. He said, did you sit in a chair that hurt you too long, or did you? And so I'm going through the Rolodex in my mind.
Right.
And then suddenly I figured it out.
Yeah.
Right. Because I was a student of my body. This is weird. This is unique. I haven't felt this before. What is it? What's going on?
Yep.
And it was related to an emotional thing that I had just dealt with the day before.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That seemed, that most of the time we would just pass off. We'd never pay attention. We'd just say, oh, okay, that was yesterday. I got through it. But it showed up in my thigh.
But you're making a really good point that I think we all need to lean into more, and that's the idea that first you went through the physical, the what everybody would think,
What
of,
everybody
right?
goes
Did
to,
I pull a
right.
muscle? Did I sit weird? Did I sleep wrong? But then it's important that we go the deeper level, which is what emotion is this carrying in me? What stress emotionally and psychologically have I undergone?
Well, absolutely. And what people don't realize is that even if I had bumped into the table, I tell people this all the time and they laugh it off because we're not trained to do it. We don't think it's as real as it is. But when you fall down and skin your knee, when you bump into the coffee table and hurt a certain part of your body, when you one of my mentors got in a motorcycle accident that could have been absolutely catastrophic, and the only part of her body that she hurt was a really odd part of her body. But, and she's like, I mean, I could have like totally broke my arm or something, and she hurt her ankle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there is significance as to
Absolutely.
why you hurt that part of your body.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because there's
a message.
there's a message, there might be an emotional connection that's related to that part of the body. There's some reason, talk about communication, that part of the body is a little bit weaker. And your body's going to get your attention one way or another.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so when the seemingly odd, unconnected thing happens, and so even if I had sat in an odd chair and sat wrong and hurt my thigh, there's still a broader, bigger message.
And you're
that my body is trying
wise
to-
enough to ask the question to begin to figure it out. And that's one thing among many that Restore Healing can do for each and every one of us. 115 Kings Highway in Shreveport, restorehealing.co. Go. If you have not been to the website, it's a way to kind of get a virtual tour of what's in store for you when you walk in to this very healing environment, Restore Healing. Stacie Slabaugh, our life strategist today. We're talking about stress and overwhelm, and not to overwhelm you, we have more. Come back with us.
There's more.
All the strategies.
We all have problems every day. We all need help along the way. We need strategies, strategies, strategies for living radio.
Welcome back in. Welcome back into Strategies for Living. Lauren and David, we are blessed beyond measure that we have Dr. Stacie Slabaugh from Restore Healing with us today. 115 Kings Highway. It's right next door to Strawn's, across from Centenary College. And, you've passed by that building for 100 years. But, one day, Lauren and I were curious, and I'm so glad we were. It's a couple of years ago.
I'm glad y'all were too.
And we said, what is this? Balanced Life Wellness Center was on the front of the window. And we were curious, so we
wandered in.
We wandered in, and man, you can feel it the minute you walk in the door.
You can.
It was meant to be, because that was one of those odd days that that you could walk in. Usually you can't. I do have to keep the doors locked because I'm.
Which is
you're in session.
Yes, because I'm in session.
Which is a reason to go to restorehealing.co, because at that website you can see what all goes on at Restore Healing. You can
book
also
a discovery session.
And yes,
you can also book.
Schedule a consultation session if you don't know what you need, if you don't know what's going on, if you don't whatever. And if it is just, I just need to come in and talk to you and just figure out what it's all about, then sometimes I will do those for free. There is a fee for most consultations because I do a scan.
Right.
You walk out with some valuable feedback.
Yeah.
But if you just, want to see inside and say, well, I just don't know about this. I heard you on the radio and I want to just come check out your space. Then don't feel like you have to pay the fee to do that.
Right. It's interesting, Stacie. Lauren and I have an acquaintance, a colleague, who says, you need to pay attention to the messages. And he said, I love his illustration. He says, whatever's showing up physically, doesn't matter if it's a headache or constipation or low libido, it doesn't matter what it is. If it's a message, it's like a little, you used to have the telegrams delivered.
Yeah.
And he says it's like the telegram guy coming, and he'll knock on your door. Yep. And if you don't answer, if you ignore him,
he's got a job to do.
And so the next thing the next thing he's going to do is he's going to break your window.
Throw a rock.
And if you still don't respond, the next thing he's going to do is burn your house down.
Right. So you come out and get the message.
So he said, get the message early.
Yeah.
And I love that little story.
Well, and that is so true. I mean, he's absolutely right. And your body has a message to deliver. And it may be, as we talked about in the last segment, just your thigh hurting at first or something. Right. But if you keep ignoring that and you keep putting that off, your body is going to find another way to get that message across. And it's going to get worse and worse and worse.
Louder and louder.
Louder and louder.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the thing to remember is this is not, so many of us say, well, we have incredible medical technology today. And we do. And we do. But medicine is really aimed at, and doctors are trained for, treating symptoms.
Yes.
What we're talking about today, when we talk about stress and the things that can happen, we're talking about the entire message.
And
doctors are not trained for that.
In the analogy of the telegram guy, the medical world is aimed at sedating the delivery.
The delivery,
exactly
yes.
Right.
The delivery guy. Like,
let's put him to sleep.
Give him a tranquilizer for a few days.
Medicine wants to, knock him out. And
just kill the messenger.
Kill the messenger.
Right?
No, that's exactly it.
But eventually he's going to wake up.
But eventually he's going to wake up and he's going to come back. And then he's
angrier,
right?
I
was going to say,
who the heck knocked me out?
Really ticked off.
But, let's not lose sight of the fact that there is some good news here. This is not all bad news, is it?
Well, absolutely, because there is a reason that your body is sending you that message, because your body also knows what to do about it, given the correct. So your body's saying, hey, give me the conditions where I can fix this.
Yes.
right? And so when we ignore it or we suppress it or we take the drug or the shot just simply to suppress it and not do anything about it, then it comes back really ticked off.
Yeah.
And the body can't heal in that environment when all we're doing is suppressing it, when the message is something's wrong. Hey, let's pay attention to this. Let's, get you out of stress. Let's do whatever.
Right.
Let's get your body back into the parasympathetic state, back into an environment to where it can, where the little check engine light goes off.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the body itself is meant to, it is built to restore.
To
itself,
restore. Yeah.
To heal itself. If, like you
That
said,
is
given the right
The
conditions.
way we are created to do, but the body has to have the conditions to do so.
So many of us are not aware that even things like those extra pounds that we put on, that extra weight that we put on, is a message.
It's a message.
It's a message. So however it's showing up, and that's the neat thing that you've done with Restore, I think, Stacie, is, everything from you're doing everything from peptide therapy. So if people need to address in a healthy way their weight situation, you've got a physician guided.
Well, and yes, it is
peptide
physician
therapy?
guided. It's not the lab rat stuff. It's physician guided, and it follows a medical protocol. And so it is delivered directly from a pharmacy, 503A pharmacy. But the thing with peptides is they're short chain amino acids that give a sentence, right? They help your body. So if that communication, your body is getting all this stuff and it's confused, and so it's lost a direct message, a full sentence to say, do this,
Build this or create
build
this.
this, create this.
Yep.
And so it's lost. Maybe the sentence was broken, maybe chaos has happened, maybe communication, somehow that communication was broken. That peptide is a short chain amino acid that is a full sentence, period, stop, that says, do this.
Yeah.
And so they are natural substances that, when used correctly and when not, and that's why they need to be physician guided, they need to be in conjunction with whatever other health things you've got going on, whatever other medication you're taking. They don't need to be stacked incorrectly or used incorrectly, but when used correctly in the proper protocol, they give that communication function, proper communication channel back to your body.
And of course, you've got so many other things. You've got the targeted supplements you can do. You've got the biofield tuning
Yes.
that goes on.
That's what I think is really special about what you're doing, because you can address at the biochemical level with the peptides, but then you can also receive the message within the other therapeutic techniques.
The body
that you offer.
is biochemical and electrical.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
those are the two systems that we work on, and both of them communicate. They need proper communication channels. Are they open or unblocked communication channels?
And I won't say too much about this, but I tell you, Stacie, you've got a room that have become addicted to.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's got a combination of
the sound.
PEMF.
Yeah, that is the Quantum Sound Lounge.
Oh
Lounge.
my goodness! Oh,
You have to experience that.
So
You really
are
do.
surrounded
It's an
and fully
experience.
embodied with healing frequencies.
It's like going to a 4D movie for healing.
It is. That's a good analogy. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Restore Healing. It's at 115 Kings Highway, right next door to Strawn's, across from Centenary. And it's go to restorehealing.co and get a lot more information about what we're talking about today. If there's a messenger that's trying to get your attention, call Stacie.
Yes.
Stacie can help you.
She can help translate.
There you go. restorehealing.co. Back with Strategies for Living in just a moment. Welcome back. Welcome back to Strategies for Living. Lauren, David, Stacie. We're talking about Restore Healing today. restorehealing.co. They're at 115 Kings Highway, right next door to Strawn's. You know, one of the things, Stacie, is every time you come, we cover so much important material.
And yet there's
And
so much left.
They cram so much into the hour So let me give you a challenge. What do you want to leave people with? I mean, if you had to sum up in a minute or so what you really want people to take away from our conversation today, how would you do that?
That's always a tough one, David. But I would say today on the what we've been talking about today is that start asking, instead of asking what's wrong with me, start asking what is my body trying to tell me. And when you look at it from that way, just remember that the good news is your body was designed to heal, and sometimes it simply needs the right support and the right translation, as Lauren said. And what I do is help it remember how to heal.
There you go. You offer it restoration, i.e. restore healing. You also are a wonderful bridge and interpreter to help people understand a little more about their system and their body than otherwise would. Stacie, thank you so much for what you do. Thank you for bringing Restore Healing into our community. And, I'm so proud of, as I've watched you over these years, you're constantly bringing more and expanding. So thank you for all that you do.
Thank you.
Folks, thank you. We appreciate you being a part of Strategies for Living. And, of course, we appreciate our sponsors who make it all possible. And one of those sponsors is Restore Healing with Stacie Slabaugh, and the Robinson Film Center, and Azalea Cleaners, and Pintail Roofing, and Fertitta's Delicatessen, home of those Muffies, Uprising Addiction Center, and Mira Direct Primary Care. If today were the last day of your life, you only had one more phone call to make, who would you call? What would you say? And why are you waiting? Make the call. For Dr. Stacie Slabaugh, for Lauren Leon McMillian, I'm David McMillian. See you next time right here on Strategies for Living.